Under a soft golden sunset, a little girl named Chloe wandered beyond the meadows where the grass grew tall and whispery. Her red shoes left tiny prints on the dirt path, and her pockets jingled with pebbles she had collected from her adventures. Chloe was a dreamer, the kind who believed that wind carries stories, that clouds hid secrets, and that somewhere flowers could sing. That day, she followed a sound she couldn't explain, a faint hum that seemed to rise from the earth itself. It was like the world was softly humming a tune just for her. Curiosity sparkled in her eyes. She crouched low, pressed her ear to the ground, and gasped. The sound was real. Chloe brushed her fingers through the tall grass until they met something small and glowing. A seed, shimmering faintly like a pearl kissed by sunlight. When she picked it up, it pulsed once in her palm, warm and alive. "Hello," she whispered, half expecting it to answer. It didn't speak, but the wind seemed to swirl playfully round her, tugging at her braid, almost urging her forward. With a heart full of wonder, Chloe planted the glowing seed right there in the meadow, scooping a bit of soil over it. "There," she said proudly, "you're safe now." As soon as she patted the ground, the earth trembled softly. Then, from that tiny patch of soil, a sprout burst upward, glowing brighter than a firefly. It grew taller and taller, curling into vines that shimmered with tiny golden leaves. The vines spread, twining round the trees and weaving into the grass until the entire meadow began to sing. It wasn't a song like people sang, it was something deeper. The flowers hung in gentle harmonies, the leaves rustled like flutes, and the vines strummed soft notes as the wind blew through them. Chloe spun in delight. She had never heard anything so beautiful. "Did I make this happen?" she whispered. A soft voice, airy and musical, replied, "You helped it wake." Chloe turned sharply. Before her stood a small, shimmering creature, part flower, part human, with petals for hair and eyes that glowed like dewdrops. She smiled warmly. "Welcome to the Singing Seed Garden, Chloe." Chloe blinked. "You know my name?" The creature nodded. "We know all who listen with their hearts. You heard our song before anyone else could." Chloe's wonder grew with every note that surrounded her. The garden wasn't just alive, it was alive with music. Some flowers sang in high, tinkling tones, others crooned in low, soothing hums. The bushes beat soft rhythms as if keeping time. Even the trees swayed gently, their leaves clapping like hands. Chloe explored deeper into the garden, guided by the flower being who introduced herself as Lyra. Everywhere Chloe looked, there was something magical, a pond that rippled to the beat of the music, butterflies that danced in rhythm, and glowing seeds that floated through the air like drifting lanterns. But something felt strange. As they walked farther, Chloe noticed parts of the garden that were silent. The flowers there were drooping, their colors fading, their music gone. "What happened here?" Chloe asked softly. Lyra's glow dimmed. "The garden thrives on harmony," she said. "When joy, kindness, and care flow through the world, we sing. But when people forget to listen, when they stop believing in gentle things, our songs fade." Chloe's heart squeezed. "Can it be fixed?" Lyra looked at her with hopeful eyes. "Maybe, but it takes someone who truly listens." Chloe nodded fiercely. "Then I'll listen." Lyra smiled, then followed the quiet. They walked until they reached the deepest part of the garden, a grove of crystal trees whose branches hung heavy with silent, colorless blossoms. At the center was a single stone pedestal, and on it rested a dark, cracked seed. "This is the heart seed," Lyra said. "It used to be the loudest song of all, the one that kept every creature in rhythm. But when people outside the garden stopped caring for their world, when they cut trees, forgot to laugh, and stopped listening to small wonders, its song broke." Chloe reached out gently, her small hand hovering over the seed. "Maybe it just needs someone to sing to it." Lyra looked surprised. "No one has sung here in years." Chloe took a deep breath. She didn't have a perfect voice, but she had courage. Closing her eyes, she sang softly, a song her grandmother used to hum while watering her garden. It was a tune about rain and sunlight, about patience and love. Her voice trembled at first, but as she sang, she felt the ground beneath her pulse and rhythm. The cracked seed quivered. Chloe sang louder. The trees began to shimmer. Then, with a sound like 1,000 chimes ringing at once, the heart seed split open, not in ruin, but in rebirth. From it grew a radiant bloom, unlike any other, its petals pure light. The garden roared back to life, color exploding across every flower, sound filling the air like a symphony. Lyra's wings sparkled brighter than ever. "You did it, Chloe! You brought back the song." Chloe smiled through tears. "I didn't do it alone. The garden helped me." The heart seeds flower began to release tiny glowing seeds into the air. They floated upward, drifting toward the sky like stars. "Where are they going?" Chloe asked. Lyra's voice was soft now, almost a whisper. "To the world above. Each seed carries a note of our song. When they land, they'll remind people to listen, to care for little things, to love the world again." Chloe watched the glowing seeds drift higher and higher until they disappeared among the clouds. Then she turned to Lyra. "Will the garden stay?" Lyra smiled sadly. "It always stays, hidden in the heart of whoever believes in it. You can visit anytime. Just listen." Before Chloe could reply, a warm wind swept through, swirling petals around her like a soft storm. When she blinked again, the garden was gone. She stood in the same meadow, the sun now dipping low, the air golden and still. For a moment, she thought it had all been a dream. But when she looked down, she found one glowing seed resting in her palm, the same light as before, soft and alive. She tucked it gently into her pocket and smiled. That night, when Chloe returned home, she placed the seed in a pot on her windowsill. She sang to it, softly, just as she had in the garden, and as the moon rose high, the little pot began to hum. The sound was faint, but it was real. Days turned into weeks. Every morning, Chloe sang to her plant, and every night it glowed a little brighter. Soon, the neighbors noticed. Birds began to gather by her window, humming along. The wind through the town carried a melody so gentle that people began smiling more, helping each other more, even planting gardens of their own. And though no one knew where the song came from, Chloe did. She knew the singing seed garden had never really left. It had simply found a new home in every heart that listened. Years later, Chloe would tell her story to other children, and some of them would wander into meadows, just as she once had. And sometimes, if they were quiet enough, they'd hear it too, that faint, magical hum rising from the earth, promising that kindness and wonder would always keep the world in tune. Because every heart that listens can make the world sing again. Moral of the story, the world around us is full of music, but only those who listen with love and care can truly hear it. When we show kindness and believe in small wonders, we help keep the song of life alive.